Do you want, should I
Got
go off
it.
camera?
Huh? No,
Should I
you
go off?
stay with me. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's just to you and me right now. Let's make sure my volume's all good. All righty, well, welcome everybody just to the extra bonus call that I created because I wanted to from our what I thought was pretty awesome 5 days of really diving into 5 tools for 5 days, and also the invitation to what else is possible, what's next possible in the 6-week course live of Can I Have the Money Now, Please? Which actually Jennifer is already registered and signed up for. And I know a bunch of you are in the works to do that. And there's a bunch of you that have asked for this recording today. I know I just threw it up at a really weird time in my day. So let's get started. I really was going to talk a little bit just for fun, because I mentioned it like we're where you perceive money coming into your life and looking at the energy of what that means. So, but I do have the fabulous Jennifer on the call, and I don't mean to put you like on the spot, but I did ask her. She had an experience. We talked all week about money is not about money. Money is about what we're not willing to receive. So as you opened up the channels of awareness of like all the places you haven't been willing to receive, and there's just layers and layers and layers. But Jennifer was mentioning that she received something. Do you feel like you want to share what that was and what that I call them awareness wins, what that was?
Sure. So there have been some things at work. Well, at first, when you said, you need to work on receiving, that's probably the issue behind the issue. I was like, no, that's crazy. I'm ready to receive money and opportunity and everything. I'm wide open. But I've been asking for some things at work. I wanted kind of like not an assistant, but kind of an assistant, and some accounts that I thought were going to get taken away and reshuffled. And I was really worried about it. And I was going over and over my head about it. But I did ask for what I wanted. And I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get it. And today I got it. I got everything I asked for. And my first instinct was like, no, no, that'll hurt so and so's feelings. I don't know how I feel about that. That feels kind of yucky. And I was just automatically like, no, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
it. But
Mm-hmm.
then I remembered everything we've been talking about all week about receiving. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I'm going to receive it. I welcome it. Great. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so it worked out for the best. And all the ruminating I did about the negative, wasn't necessary. It worked out the way it
That's
was
okay.
supposed
I
to work out.
mean, we can't change our patterns overnight because we've had them forever. I work with Jennifer privately, so she's really in the tools all the time, which is creating momentum and transformation in places you didn't think were possible. So that's really exciting. That really
Yeah.
is, because it can start from little receiving to then asking for what you desire, and then just the whole process, and then your immediate response of not wanting to receive it and all of that, but you did. So yay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so I wanted to, for all of you who will be watching the recording in here, we did not finish 2 of the tools, and I was just going to go over them really quick. Okay, I'm not going to dive into them, but we did 5. I have a lot of them, but one of them was um, tool 6, and it's called Deal and Deliver. Okay, and it's never confront, never justify, and never seek approval. And so that might even line up with what Jennifer was saying about asking what you needed to make your business actually run, for what the business needed. So never confront, never justify, and never seek approval. When you justify what you need, you're actually trying to confront the other person without directly confronting them. The same is true for trying to get people to approve of what you require. Instead, be clear and exact in your communication and find out what the deal is. So you did the deal and you were clear, and then they delivered. So congratulations. I mean, it's like perfect deal or deliver. And that really is about what energy are you willing to be, that dominant energy. That allows things to show up. But if you're not willing to be that and then receive it, that's where it goes haywire. So cool. That was tool number 6. And tool number 7, just a quick one, was doing business like a man or a woman. And in my notes, I said, a man's way is direct. He wants to get straight to the point and give and receive information. A woman's way is to talk about it, discuss how things could work and what her feelings about the project are. She will ask, what do you think about this? And she loves being asked questions herself. So this was just like in business, we probably have to do all of these things, a masculine job, the energy of playing in that energy. But it was just a reminder, are you doing business like a man or a woman? Are you being the dominant push, force, survival, bam, or the energy of a woman who can be all that with questions, but is willing to receive? The man energy does not receive. The female energy receives in a different way. So that was just like, how are you doing business? And if you're not doing it a way that you would like to be doing it, then there are other possibilities. And that's what we continue to, oh, got another one, continue to talk about in the 6-week course. So we have another girlfriend jumping on with us. So I have like way too many notes in front of me. So that usually happens. And this is going to be a very quick little class. But what I would like to know is, how do you, I need paper to write my notes here so I can do some facilitation. When you do me a favor, close your eyes, both of you gals, and then everybody who's going to be watching the recording, just close your eyes. We need to ground a little bit. And to me, grounding just literally just means like, hello, butt in my chair. Hello, feet on the floor, or whatever you're doing. It literally is so quick that you just like connect. Okay. And would you do me a favor and close those eyes, which you are done, and see money coming at you? Where does money come to you when you close your eyes? And be with that just for a moment. Okay, and if this is something you've never looked at, cool. We get to do that now. And, there's absolutely no wrong or right in any of the work I do. It's being an awareness, and my 4 A's, an allowance of what you're getting, discovering. And then we're going to ask some new questions to create new possibilities, and then what actions required. So, Jennifer, do you want to share where you see money coming?
When you asked the other day, I said from above, but when I just did that, it was kind of like face on, like,
In front, okay.
yeah, in front.
Okay. Again, no right or wrongs, and it can change, but we usually do have a little bit of a dominant place that we receive because we didn't know we could be receiving from everywhere. Our other guest, Alora, can you?
Hello. I'm gonna
Hello.
try and start my, sorry. I'm
Wow, that's
operating
okay.
single mom over here and
That's okay.
it's a mess. Um,
Glad to
so
have you here.
yes, thank you for having me. So I've been thinking about this even before this call, and I don't know if something's off with me or wrong. I don't see it. It
Okay,
doesn't,
that's it.
I
It
don't,
does.
it doesn't appear to me, and I try and think about it in different forms and ways, and I think it's probably has to do with my relationship to how I view money right now, or where I'm at in my financial situation in my life, if that makes
Perfect.
sense.
And that's what this is uncovering what's happening. And it's not from a mindset place. It's literally from an energetic awareness.
Mhm.
It's like, I close my eyes and I don't see it coming from anywhere. And coming from nowhere is better than coming from, how do I want to say that? Coming from nowhere is better than anywhere, because at least nowhere is a place that you can create something from. Now, I
Yes.
know that was like whatever that was, but that is okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read to you a lot of my stuff. This comes from Access Consciousness, some of the tools, a lot of tools I teach, I love from there. But I'm just going to read it straight because this is kind of fun. Okay, is it coming from the back or front of you, from the right or the left, from up or from down? If you see money coming from you in front, The idea is that you're going to have it in the future. When does the future arrive? Okay, that's where I started doing this work in like 2019 with this stuff, and I could only see money out in front of me. I mean, it was so far out in front of me, but it was like, oh my gosh. So that was just a huge awareness. And always, when is it going to arrive? Does that make sense a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And if we're always looking in the future, waiting and asking, when is it going to happen? That's not really a question. Okay. It's just like never. Okay. So you're always looking for money out in front of you. You're you're like a donkey with a carrot in front of his face. You're always going for a future event. Okay. And if you're a creator too, which I am, it's always been, what's the next thing I can create? What's the next thing I can make happen? A lot of that is, what can I do? What can I do? And energy work, self-mastery is about, what can I be? And it takes a whole different like train of being, but it's like, what can I be with money? And that's what this class is going to be about, is what can I be with money? If you see money coming at you from the right, then the point of view is you've got to work hard for it. Okay. Now, again, take what you want, leave the rest. This is just their energetic point of view of the way they see it. So you could see it. It doesn't have, anything's not solid and significant, but it's the way that they perceive it. So if it's coming from the right, you have to work hard for it. Okay. It's coming from the left. The point of view is that something will come as a handout. Interesting. Somebody's going to give you a handout to get you rich. Do you see it coming from behind you? Okay, that means you used to have it, but you ain't going to have it anymore. People do this a lot when we're just in, like, say you've had a big transfer, oh, little peanut. If you've had a past in this reality where you made a lot of money, so you're always pulling from your back reference points of, well, I used to make that, I used to make that. And so you're living in past reference points, trying to pull that into your world, and that doesn't even exist anymore. Okay. So again, there's no judgment. There's just like, okay, cool. What's happening here with my money? If you saw it coming from the top, that means you think God is going to give it to you because nobody else will. So that was just kind of, it's just like, I'm just waiting for it to happen. It's just gonna happen, and I don't know where it's gonna come from. Jennifer,
like divine intervention. That's what I said at first.
You did, yeah. And there's, again, this is just fun. It's like, it's just coming in. And there is the art of manifestation and actualization. And when I do energy work, this is the part of where we do manifestation. And manifestation is how it shows up. So it's kind of like, I don't know how it's going to show up, but it's just going to show up. What we actually want to be is the energy of actualization, which no one talks about unless you're doing energy work. We want to actually actualize it. Manifestation is how it shows up, and that is none of all business. But we want to actualize more cash and more money with total ease. Okay. Do you see it coming from the ground? Then it's just funny how he writes sometimes. Then you better become a farmer, because that's where you think it's going to come from. So in other words, if you think it's from the ground, that's not where it's coming from. That would be a farmer. It's going to grow like it's going to grow underneath your feet. Or could you go out and be an opal miner and find it that way? He's just so silly when he does that. So what if money could come to you from everywhere? So just take that concept. So destroy and uncreate all your projections and expectations about money, where it's supposed to come from, where yours is going to come from, and destroy and uncreate that, please. And I'm going to say a clearing statement. So everything that is, it's holding that together as form and structure, which you just destroy and uncreate it, POC and POD. Okay. I want to do a little money activation here. And I actually had to write it down so that I could do it with you. Okay. and we'll pull money in. And let me show you how you become and be money. Before I do that, I'm just going to pop up a couple of what are your limiting beliefs about money. So as we're pulling in, we can also, our points of view create our reality. And most of those points of view don't belong to us. We've inherited them, we bought into them, they're lies. It's like, and most of them, so all the places you acquired the points of view about money by the age of 2 and the age of 7, that you already had been imprinted what money was, would you destroy and uncreate that? Just let it go, right, wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. If you grew up in a family that money was lacking, we didn't, all that, the conversations that you're hearing is the energy in which the family is being. And you pick that up. And then you start to create from there until you go energetically like, my points of view create my relationship with money. Those aren't even my points of view. So everywhere right now, you have like a top layer, like we can just clear it right now. All those top points of view about money that don't belong to you, we don't need to know what they are, but those top layers, let's just destroy and uncreate them. I destroy and uncreate with them using a clearing statement, right, wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Or you can put that in front of you. We'll do that in a minute, like into a big bubble. And you put all of those points of view in, and then you just pop it and let it ground and go into the planet, into Mother Earth. And she takes that energy that we've decided is wrong or right. And there is no such thing. There's just energy. Energy is what we've decided it is. We're the ones who make it significant. Okay. So just for fun, what are your limiting, what are your limiting beliefs are? What your limiting beliefs are. So I'm just going to throw a couple of these up. What do you believe about wealthy people? What messages about money did you receive from your family growing up? Do you believe you deserve to be wealthy? What fears do you have about having a lot of money? What fears do you have about not having money? What do you like about not having money? Because it's funny because there's, as we go in and dive into everybody's individual points of view, there's a lot of points of view that about not having money, because not having money has created the life of what you're living. So you actually have to become something so different to have money. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's, again, the work that we get to do. Do you believe that making a lot of money requires sacrificing happiness or values? Does any of those ping for anybody? Raise your hand. I should have asked you. You're shaking your head. Which one on that,
Yeah.
Jennifer?
Like it's like hard work and sacrifice and all work all the time.
Yep. So do you believe that making a lot of money requires sacrificing happiness or values? So everything that is that truly your point of view, or does that belong to somebody else?
Somebody else.
All righty. So when we do that, she works with me privately. Just go ahead and return that energy to sender with consciousness, destroy and create everywhere that you're holding that as your belief system. It's not. Would you destroy and uncreate that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. So what else is possible? What energy can you be to make a lot of money with total ease? So that's how I take a belief, we bring it up, we get a little clearer on it, and then I ask an empowering question. What energy, what can I be? What can I be that I haven't been willing to be, that if I be it, I can make a lot of money. I can have a lot of money. I can receive a lot of money. And everything that doesn't allow that, again, destroy and uncreate it. Okay. What do you believe is holding you back from achieving financial success? God, there's so many questions here. Do you feel guilty about wanting more money? Everywhere that you have, there's this whole thing we do with families and generations. I mean, I'm just popping all over the place, but generational money is that everywhere you have a commitment, unsaid and unspoken, that you will never make more money than your parents? Would you destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, POD, POC, online, shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyond. We have these unset, unspoken limitations. And until we start asking the question, you may have where you came up in scarcity and poverty. And somewhere in there, you're like, I can have more, but I can never outcreate what my family has. Does that ring for anybody that I have on right now? Okay, cool, everybody. Okay, so again, truth, is that true for you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So it is true for you, or it's not true for you. How did I word that? So truth, does that belong to you, or does that belong to somebody else?
Somebody else.
Okay. Okay. And I know this is new to you, but you were kind of like somebody else. And that's okay. Just take that, because it's like, what is she talking about? But so
No.
everywhere that is, that, you know, you're like, oh gosh, I can outcreate. Pock and pop that. I know when I started in, I've always been self-employed my whole life, always 100% commission based. And that's an interesting journey your whole life. But my mom and dad did not come from that. They were the 9-to-5ers. And I have fought that underlining energy almost for so many, 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 many years. Like mom would still say, as I was making a ton of money in Mary Kay, you should go get a job. You should go, you know, you should go do this. You could, should, and I actually did once while in the middle of my success in Mary Kay. That's a whole nother thing, because I bought my mother's point of view while I was successful and went and got a job at a hospital. But it was a bomb. But I got to learn, like, wow, everywhere that energy is still permeating in your world and you're still functioning from that. Until we start asking that, we can't outcreate that. Okay, isn't that cool? You know, that's where it's like, God, I didn't even know that belief was there. That undercharming, you should be doing something else. You should be something else. Entrepreneurs, they never make money. You know, the whole, all the lies, all the lies, all the lies. Okay, so any questions on, I mean, I've got like 2 or 3 pages of all those, our belief systems, but I just thought it'd be fun to pop a few of those into our world. Let me see, what factors do you have and believe that are achievable? Do you have it? Oh, I'm losing my voice. That only happens when the energy is changing. Do you have any questions on any of that?
I don't think so.
Okay. What's somebody's top point of view about money right now? Like, you want something greater in your life, but what's the top thing that like pops up right now? Like, this is the reason you can't have it.
I think my top would be in just in the situation where I'm at as a stay-at-home mother. So obviously we rely on my husband's income, which that's a tricky situation in itself because we're debating divorce, but is that you can't, and he's trying to do entrepreneurship, is that basically in order to succeed and be able to make enough money or have enough money or make what you want, you have to sacrifice something. You either have to sacrifice time with your family or time, you have to sacrifice something in order to achieve it.
Okay. Cool. That was beautiful. So all of that crap that you just tried to get out into words, blah, 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 it's all energetically not a truth for you, which is why when we're trying to get clear on something, like you can't get clarity, anything you can't get clarity on does not belong to you.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that doesn't mean that that's not like what's coming in from him and all of that. And there's no right, there's wrong, but it's like, wow, how much of that's even mine? Maybe 5%, 10% or whatever, or none of it. And then we clear it and we let that energy go to go, wow, what is my actual truth here? If I was really willing to do what was required to become money, to have money, what is that? And then we start asking questions from that. So does that help a little bit? Just like you have what I call the vegetable soup of just like so many points of view in there that you can't even figure out what to do next. And that's cool because you showing up for this is transformation. You just showing up to go, wow, I wonder what's possible here. I wonder, well, always questions like, if this didn't exist, what could exist? And what do I need to be willing to be the change? Okay, cool. Thank you. Anything else on that one?
I don't think so.
Okay. And I heard everything you were saying about the change and the marriage and all that. So, yeah, there's tools that you can do about when you're in all relationships. We always want to destroy and uncreate the relationship with everything every day. And what that means is the limitations. Because every day we have a new day and every day we're different, especially if we're in transformational work. And so we bring up all the business, the past, people, places, and things from even yesterday, and we're different today. And we're trying to create from that old energy that's got limitations and projections and expectations. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like all the luggage. It's like, I can't create. And it's like destroy and uncreate everything your relationship was with your significant other. I mean, I do this stuff every day so that Max and I pop up and it's like, I'm a new energy and I need to keep doing that because every day I am changing, especially when coaching all day, facilitating. So just that little like, destroy and create that. Jennifer, did you have anything?
Mine seems a little similar. Like I can't imagine it. It's like, okay, I have a 9 to 5. And I really, up until about like maybe 5 years ago, didn't even know that money came from anything other than a 9 to 5. Like you had an employer and that was it.
Yeah.
So when I go and now I guess I know better that you don't have to worry about the how it comes in, but just even saying like I'm going to be wealthy is like how?
Right. Right.
I don't see it.
Right. I did a live today on our elite networking group. I don't know if you saw that, but I talked about the difference between, and this is off subject, but it's kind of all that, the difference between an affirmation and affirmation. I teach affirmations because an affirmation, where they are powerful, they can be, but a lot of times I'm going to be rich, I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to that. You know what? It's a lie. And in that moment, it's a lie to who you're being. And then you're like, you're saying it, the affirmation, but you don't actually believe it. And then it's like, and then it turns into this big weird mess because now you're judging yourself because you're saying it and it's not happening. So you really have to watch it with affirmations when they have a conclusion or a judgment on the end. And affirmation, which I just did the call on that today, it's funny that we're talking about, are questions. Why am I so wealthy? Remember I said take away the why in the other class, but this is a why of creation. Like, let me see a quick one. Why am I so capable of achieving my goals? Why do I attract success in every area of my life? Why am I worthy of love and appreciation just as I am? And the why is a question. Questions create, answers disempower. And so an affirmation is putting a why in front of everything. In a question, why is it so easy for me to sell my product? Why is it so easy for me to communicate with everybody at work? And what the mind does with that, it doesn't have an answer. So it's going to bring in to your world what it is that you're asking for. Why is it so easy? And it's like, why is it so easy? So there we go. So that was just another thing. Thank you, Jennifer, for bringing that particular thing up. Okay, anything else, girls, before I try and do this little affirmation thing here? Little activation, we should say. Okay, I wrote it down, so I might have to read it. So we're going to look at, again, your money flows and your financial reality. And I'm going to do some clearings, and then we're going to kind of pull some stuff in and play. These are called energetic money pulls. So, and the clearing statement that I use is just the most dynamic tool of breaking down those energetic blocks to create ease and abundance. So would you please be willing, and you just say yes if you'd like to, destroy and uncreate where you're duplicating or helping others with their financial realities instead of allowing you to have yours. And everything that is, yeah, we just destroy and uncreate it. Don't need to understand it, right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, bases, and beyond. So how many people feel, which is a point of view, how many people feel they need to deserve money? How many of you need to feel you need to deserve it? Like you got to work hard. It's got to, you got to plan, you got to strategy, all that. Okay. But that's just a judgment. Remember, we talked about that as one of the biggest tools in the 5 days was like judgment is like it's our major energetic addiction to everything. If we judge things enough, we will try and figure out what we're doing wrong so that they're right, so that they're wrong, it's just this whole judgment reality. So if you're doing, I deserve money, I have to deserve it, it's a judgment. If you have money, then you are choosing it. If you don't, it's because you're not choosing it. And I know that's a pisser of a statement because it's like, well, I am choosing it, but I don't have it. There's stuff in there, okay? It's underneath all the words of where those actual energetic limitations are. And we pull them up and then we destroy and create them. And then we step into what's that future possibility for you. Okay, so money is energy and it's choice. Where it's not a choice is where we make money hard and significant. Everybody makes money significant. And it's just an energy. Like it took me a long time to get this. You know what I mean? Like really get it. But there's so much importance on money, having it, not having it, what you're doing with it, how much is coming, how much is going out, can I have it and all that. So it has all this form and structure like a big brick. Money, boom. And everybody has problems. And what do they use as a number one problem? Money, because it's like the heaviest one that there is. So are you willing to choose to be the energy of what actually creates money? Whole different way of looking at it. Yeah. And that's what we're going to do. It's like, instead of money, whatever it is, am I willing to be the energy of what's required to create that? Okay. Imagine the energy of money always being there, supporting you and continuously flowing into your life. So for just 1 minute, I'm going to have you guys close your eyes. I think I'm going to have you close your eyes. And just perceive right now that like money is just energy. It is. So it's coming in through the front of you. It can come in through the sides of you. It can come in through the top, through the bottom, and through the back. Like those are all the avenues of it coming into you as the being you are. And that if it's only coming in from one area or whatever, don't judge it. But I wonder what's possible to open up those flows of energy. So right now, imagine the energy of money always being there, supporting you, continuously flowing into your life. Okay. What I also want you now to do is expand your energy. Because as I was having you do that, most of us get very small and contracted. We're like, I have this little body and I need to pull it in to the sides. I want you to expand. Your body's here, but I want you to expand your energy outwards. Go as big as the room that you're in right now. And go out as big as out in the street. And if you can see yourself there, you've expanded, like standing there. It's like, that's how we expand energy. Okay. And if you can't, just go with me. Expand out as big as the country that you're in. Now as big as the continent. I don't even know what that means. The continent. And if you can't see it, perceive it, just ask your energy to be it, because we're all connected. We are that big. Now go into to the whole world. Just expand out. Now, just kind of perceive how your body feels. Do you have like more oxygen? Do you have like a little bit like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to cram everything into this little teeny postage stamp of a life? Okay. So acknowledge that you are a miracle on this planet, especially you're here right now with me, choosing consciousness and taking ownership of your life. So envision your entire life shifting and changing with this miraculous energy that you have that's like expansive. In that expansiveness that you're tapping into right now is where it all happens. Whenever we contract, which is where we try to figure everything out from this small spot. When we expand, there's just like, wow, that doesn't even, it's not even as heavy, and it isn't the problem that I was looking at. So, what do I want you to do? Put a big ball in front of you, whatever you want, a big ball, and we're going to put things in there. Okay. If these are big questions, but let's just put it out there. If you were to have it all your own way with money, we'll just do money. But if you had it all your own way, what energy would that be like? So put in the little ball. If I had the energy of money, what would my body feel like? What would things in my life, what would that energy be? Okay. What would you like to have with money? What energy? Would you like to have ease? Would you like to have ease? Would you like to have peace, abundance? Would you like to have some help in the house to help you with your little peanuts? You know, that's what money can be in that. What kind of relationship would you like to have with money here in this future? You know, like, what has your relationship been with money? Have you even looked at it? And everywhere that you're trying to create from the old space of money, and I can do this. I can go through every 10-year increments of my life. I'm 59, so there's almost six increments of every 10 years of what my story was with money, and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So put that in there. And what kind of thriving business would you like that flows money and creates change in the world? And you just put that in that big bubble. Okay, so in that big bubble, I want you to pull energy into the bubble from all over. Just go, here's my big bubble of my new relationship with money, and pull energy from in front of the bubble, from the sides of the bubble, from the top of the bubble, and from the bottom. So it's just filling up with all this consciousness, all this magic and miracles, and full of joy. Now, from that, normally I would have you be doing this in your body, but I thought it'd be easier for the first time in the bubble. In that, I would like you to take that energy and let trickles out of that bubble that you've created. Let it go out. Just trickle it out to the universe, everywhere, and send it out with these little sparkly things. That's what I do for everybody that's looking for you, that doesn't even know that they're looking for you. But you might have the skincare they're looking for your job, you know, looking for the next deal, but they don't know. Send that energy out. Let it just connect to everybody from the front, the middle, the sides. This is called doing an energy pull. Now pull all of those into your world, all those little things. So these are like little money, I call them like little energy business cards everywhere. I just pop them out there into the world. Everybody who's looking, every woman who's looking for change, transformation in their lives, and you don't know where to find it, but you're looking for it, I'm it. And then I pull them into my life. Okay. And let the trickles of the energy again, it can go back out so that it supports you. And all of this is about consciousness. Okay. Be willing to lose your mind and recognize that you are part of consciousness. If you desire anything, you put it into that bubble. Realize that in that bubble, in your body, you are not alone. The universe supports you and your growth. Every molecule supports us. All righty. So take that bubble and pull it all the way through you, all the way back through your back. So we're pulling energy all the way in through us, through kind of like our heart area. It doesn't have to be that specific, out through our back and back out to people to trickle. And that's called the flow of energy, and invites you to do that every day. Everywhere you go, you are a gift. You are willing to be, are you willing to be the gift and contribution? Okay, so go ahead and open your eyes. that was kind of a fast one. But what was your, what did you perceive with that? Had you ever done a money energy poll? Have you ever put any of that? What was it like, if you could put words on it?
There we go. I did my best to focus there with them, but I did notice during it, like with the stuff I put it, the main one that comes for me is like peace and security. And I kind of just feel like I want to cry.
Okay, just be with that. Here's the thing, and this is really deeper work, is that you already are peace. You already are security. You as an infinite being already have that, but we place it on money. Not that we don't need money and want to require money, but there's also this place of like truth. Am I secure with who I be? Yes. And what was your other thing? Secure with money and peace and truth. Am I peace? As I say infinite being, as the being, as even the future version of you, are you automatically peace? Energetically, we are. It's just all the piles of stuff on top of us that we've bought as ours. Okay. So everywhere that you are looking for peace and financial security, and you might already be that, what if you're actually looking for more money and more cash to create more ease, but you already are the security and that peace? Does that make any sense?
I feel like that's spot on.
Okay. Okay. And it's weird when you're new, but all of that. So, okay, cool. So be with that. And what energy, space, and conscious can your body have? Just have total ease with all of this awareness. That's it. It's just awareness. It's like, okay, cool. And that's a huge question. What energy, space, consciousness can I be to have total ease with all the stuff that this girl is talking about? Okay. And then the class is called, can I have the money now, please? Which is actually a question. So all those points of view that we have, that we've talked about, if we have any of those that are underlining and we have them and we don't know there, guess what? We can't have it. Okay. We can sometimes, but it's really hard to keep pulling them in. So we're going to clear more of that. Okay. Jennifer, anything for you?
I felt I liked the expansion, kind of like I felt like I'm open for business for the, anyone that's maybe not in my consciousness right now. And it helps me expand that whole, if I can't imagine it. And then you kind of said like it's in my little world, like I'm just living in my little world and everything, all my problems, everything are right here. But when I start thinking about like expanding it to the rest of the world, I'm like, I don't know what all's out there for me, and I don't know what I could pull in, and I don't know the people that might be able to help me or I might meet, and I just don't know any of that. And I don't need to put a name and face on everything either. I don't need to be in that much control. So it felt just kind of good saying like, hey, I'm open.
Cool. Great. Great. And that's a learned thing, to like send your little magnetic energy cards out there and then just do the work. And then you just kind of wait. And you be in that space of, okay, I'm not just waiting, but I'm also asking my business and me today, what can I do today to create cash right away? So while those are out, I still have to go to work and do calls and do all these things to invite myself into people's worlds or talk to that one person. So it's out there, but I still have to go into the fourth A, and that's the action. So asking the question, what does my business require today? Business, what do you require? What's the one thing I can do today to make money and cash right away? And those are two different energies. Cash is different than money. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever looked at that? Can you perceive that? Money and cash. Can I have the cash now? Can I have the money now? What are you aware of?
Like the cash is more tangible. Like it's like in my hand.
Yeah. And it's like, does it come in easier?
I don't know.
That's okay. Okay. No, there's no right or wrong. It's just like, oh, okay. Because we could be asking for money all the time, but we forgot to ask for cash.
I
Because
feel
we
like I
don't,
never think of cash. I feel like I always just think money.
I know.
Yeah.
And money can be heavy and sluggish and hard and all these points of view. So I'm just giving you another tool, what energy can I be today for me and my business to receive cash right away? And I don't have an answer, but I'm asking for cash. And that's going to come in as a client, a customer, somebody handing you money. If you find a dime on the floor, pick it up and say, thank you, universe, because that's cash. Okay, it's simple as it may. And then in the 6-week series, we are literally I'm going to take you through 10 financial energetic steps to completely change the relationship you have with money. Now, that's not saying that you're going to like be rich and have all this money, but it's about changing by these things that we're going to be doing. And then we'll keep working on them through that 6 weeks, along with other stuff. We'll change the relationship from what it has been to what's possible now. Okay. Okay. So with all of that, any takeaways, anything you want to share? Was that fun? Was it different?
It was definitely different. I've never really, I mean, besides our last meeting, I haven't really done anything like that before. And like I said, it's a lot of where I'm at in my life. It's a lot of taking in and kind of having those little aha light moments, light bulbs going off, that kind of thing. So it's nice to think of it as a different way, because I feel very stuck in the way my brain. Light bulbs in the chat. Sorry about that.
Okay, I did business with kids and babies.
Stuck
Absolutely.
in that. Yes. But
Yeah.
yes, I feel like it's opening a lot of things and gears are turning. So
Cool.
that's good.
And that's how some people have explained my work, that I make you think different, which is consciousness,
Yes.
which is awareness. And no one ever taught us how to do this,
No.
So
I've never been taught to ask so many questions in my life.
Yeah.
And the other day I had a little meltdown moment and started questioning like everything. And I was like, I need to take a step back for a second, because now I'm starting to question every tiny little thing, but it's good. And I know I need it.
Yeah. And when you get crunchy and all of that's coming in, please remember, I'm going to expand out as big as my room. I'm going to expand out into the street. I'm going to expand out as big as a state to the country, and let you, you're already connected with everything. But if you expand it, the problems will dissolve. So at least you can breathe with them. Okay.
Good.
Cover the back.
I think it's cool that you're exposing your kids to it. I mean, my mom used to say only rich people wore seatbelts.
Yeah, no, and that's part of the reason I do it is, one, yes, obviously for myself, but also for them. So they have these tools, even though they don't have any clue what I'm doing or talking about right now. It's for the better of myself, but also for them and then their kids, and hopefully generations on afterwards.
Remember, my first question is, how many points of view did you acquire before the age of 2, before the age of 7? And those are like real informative energetics that, they get what they get. I always say they'll be in therapy later, or they'll be in coaching later. So you don't have to get it perfect. You just do the best you can. Yes. And you be different with money, which will create a different reality for them with money. So, okay, girls, anything else? Anything else? Was that some good fun stuff today?
Yes.
That was good.
Okay.
I'll say that the receiving that I did today, when I first realized that I was just going to accept it, it like brought up a lot of emotions. I was just like I couldn't even breathe for like a second. And because I just left you a message, and I was like, but it felt good. It just was like different.
Good.
So.
And that tapping, we don't have to tap into the emotions when we're doing energy work, but they come up. Okay. But I am going to have you try and put a little bit of what was the first energy that came up? Like, we had the feelings, but what was the feeling energy that came up?
I mean, I was proud of myself, but it was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I can articulate it.
That's all right. Fear, judgment, shame,
Well, when I first tried to deflect it, I was like, no, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I don't want to, step on any
Okay.
toes. And then when I received it, it was like a freedom
Got
feeling.
it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's what I say when you're doing energy work, is that energy that you were just then, more of that,
Mm,
please. Because we
mm,
can't put words on it. You
yeah.
just are different from that whole transaction that you just did.
Mm,
So, yeah,
yeah.
and it will expand. All righty, so that's it. And open registration is there, and then we actually start on Saturday morning. So I can't believe that's already November 2nd. So you can pay one payment, two payments, three payments for the 247. So it comes to $88. And then I think it breaks it down in those 6 weeks. It automatically does it through PayPal. Okay.
Okay.
All right, you guys.
Thank
All
Have a
right.
good
you
one.
much.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.